next guest now is one of the biggest names in basketball.
Literally and figuratively. Shaquille O'Neal is an NBA Hall of Famer, 4-time champion, 15-time All-Star, and the list just goes on.
He is also quite the successful businessman, and the new docuseries Power Moves details Shaq's efforts to dominate the sneaker game now. It offers a behind-the-scenes look at his attempt to revive Reebok's basketball brand. Shaq, good morning to you, sir. Welcome back.
How are you?
Good to see you. Good to see you, sir.
Do I have to sit in between this feud for the next 5 minutes?
Listen, for 30 years, he's always messing with
Didn't you? I just gave you your flowers.
30 years.
I just gave you your flowers.
It was in the prompter.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
But I read the words that are all true, by the way.
It didn't sound sincere.
The president of Reebok Basketball, for folks who aren't familiar, this is the new docuseries on Netflix. You're also an investor in the company.
I want to point out the fact that when people interview Shaq nowadays, if it's outside of basketball, it's always most certainly about business, because he has garnered his position in life to be a respectful businessman. And guess what? He's a man of very few words, because watch him in some of his commentary. He just sits there. He listens, and when he speaks, it's with conviction. Not because I want to interrupt. I just want to talk to be seen or heard. I've got something to add, value add. And this translates to his way of doing business. If there's a business that's struggling, he comes in, finds the most audacious thing that's not doing well, such as, say, Reebok, and finds the issue and solves the problem. Moves on. I'm not going to sit there and try to figure out color combinations on shoelaces. I'm not going to try to figure out, what type of soles we're putting on these shoes. I want to figure out what's going on in the production and what can get us to the number 2 status. Like, I get it. We're not going to probably beat Nike in their position right now. But let's get back to the number 2 spot. What's the most pressing thing that needs my attention? And that's what this guy does.
Disclose that. Why now? Why pull back the curtain on the process now?
I could remember, I've always said Reebok was never number 1, but never number 3. I remember when I signed with Reebok, it was an emerging company. And then we signed Allen Iverson and Sean Kemp, and we was always in the fold. And then Adidas purchased Reebok and kind of went away. So when it came back up for sale, my partner, Jamie Salter, he purchased it. And, for me, it's just a challenge to bring it back to some type of prominence. Back then, we didn't have as much competition as we have now, so there's a lot of competition. And it's just, it's fun. I had to learn a lot. My mother, Lucille, I know she's watching right now, she said my greatest attribute is that I listen. Because first day I went in, I was like, okay, we're going to do all type of new high tops. And, my son had to let me know that Gen Z doesn't wear high tops anymore. And I didn't know that. So, the fact that I was able to listen to my teammates brought me back to my basketball knowledge, because, when you focus on the team, you can win championships. So I'm learning a lot. I'm having a good time. And again, we just wanted to bring them back to some type of prominence.
Are you going to bring back the pump?
Yes, we are.
Ooh. Oh.
And you won't get a pair.
Wow. Whoa.
Just a drive.
You get a free pair. And
You guys remember the pump on these shoes, man? It was corny. I mean, I don't know. Maybe because it's a new generation, they don't remember that. They never seen it. So, hey, what comes around goes around, right? I mean, if they can bring bell-bottom pants back, I guess they could bring the damn pump back. Crazy.
A free pair.
But you gotta appreciate the game.
Yes.
So, Shaq, we know how competitive you are. So what's the difference or the similarities between basketball Shaq and businessman Shaq?
Well, I learned a lot in business.
He's like, my damn size is the difference, right? My brain, my experience, the people I surround myself with. That's the difference. Man, just be honest, man.
I learned the word that I've never heard before, budget restraints. So, we wanted to sign like all these players, and they want 9 and 10 million. So then when I went to the board, it's like, that's not in your budget. So we had to go back and say, so you know what? Instead of going with the big time players, we're going to stay down in the college and, the NIL, the young players, and, let the young people regrow with the brand.
Speaking of young people, your son Sharif is working with you, and he's kind of torn. We see in the docuseries, he's really considering basketball, but yet you give him some really honest advice. Let's take a look at that.
You have to give everything up, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, birthday parties did I miss?
A lot.
How many school plays did I miss?
A lot.
How many times you wake up and not see me there?
A lot. And my dad missed birthdays, games, Christmas. I respect it now. I know when I was a kid, we always used to ask, is Dad going to be here? We kind of knew that, okay, he's playing basketball, he's busy. I know every NBA player by the family misses a lot of things that they wish they could go to.
Are you ready to live that life?
Wow.
That's a hard truth.
Listen, it is a hard truth, but what I want everybody else to know is that he did sacrifice a lot, right? I mean, he lost a marriage behind it too, good, bad, indifferent, whatever, happened in between. But that's what he's trying to share with his children. And that's something that, we need to share with the generation below us is, sacrifice is real, right? It's not just, not being able to go out to the clubs or, coming home early and getting to bed and getting 8 hours of sleep. Like, sacrifice is real, right? Like, you can lose everything. Like, your health could be at risk. Your marriage could be at risk. Just a lot of different things that you have to sacrifice in order to make it out there. So if you're struggling with the idea, just going all in on an idea that you have, think about the sacrifice. And if you're not willing to sacrifice, stop the idea. Do not go in because you're just going to waste time. You have to sacrifice in order to live up to your expectations when it comes to your big dreams, right? Whether it's business, whether it's school, whether it's, this guy in basketball, you got to go all in.
When you hear that, do you think about what you gave up, and do you have some regrets about that?
I wouldn't say I have regrets, but, in order to sometimes be great, you have to sacrifice a lot. My family was always there for me, but, I have 7 beautiful children, and I tell them all the time, we don't need another basketball player at all. So if you want to play basketball, cool, but please go to law school. Yeah. Please go to medical school. Please be an engineer. Please be a AI inventor. Just do something else. So I give them freedom to be who they are, find out who they are. I never press them. And then I tell them a little bit of reality. In order to touch daddy's cheese, you got to show me 2 or 3 degrees. So I try to, keep that balance. But I never say, do this, do this, do this. You just have to live their lives. I hate using this word, but I have 7 perfect children. I haven't had a problem with any of my children ever.
God bless.
So I read something recently. The argument was being made that Shaquille O'Neal has perhaps crafted the best career postseason than any living NBA player. If you look at the businesses, the DJing, the broadcasting career, you've kind of done it all. And then in the same article, I said, you may want to become a professor?
Yeah, so I'm working on my Master's of Liberal Arts right now at LSU. I'm the type that if I don't believe you, I find it difficult. And this is no disrespect to sports psychologists, but if you haven't been in certain situations, how can you help me out in certain situations? I went to a sports psychologist one time because we know I'm a terrible free throw shooter, and he was like, and his recommendations were breathe. And I was like, breathe? In Sacramento where there's cowbells and drums, breathe is not going to work. So I'm the type, before I even put myself out there, I want to get the knowledge. So in my mind, in my weird mind, I want to be a sports psychologist, and I want to be the first sports psychologist that's available on the academia side and available on the sports side. I think people know in sports situations, they know that I've been there and done that. So if you haven't been there and done that, like, you're great. I would never ask you for advice.
Wow. That's impressive. Again, drop out. Very impressive.
I had to get him back.
But I saw it coming.
Take a look at your life, all right? Look at the things that you've accomplished. We've all accomplished great things. You've accomplished great things in life, right? But you're not done. You have a lot of people that are relying on you for the answers, right? He is a sports commentator. And again, he sits back and he's watching and he's learning. But how can you apply this with the backing of academia, right? With the backing of so much research to bring forward to the teams to have the answers to a lot of their questions. And that should apply to your life as well. Now, I'm not saying that you need to go out there and get 3 degrees, which I have as well. But you definitely want to be the person that can answer questions. You want to be the point of contact, especially for your children if you do have children. And if you don't have children, be the point of contact for your family, right? If you're one of those families that's just living to live, right? People are just, going to work every day, coming home, sitting back, watching Maury, eating chips, getting, and just repeat, rinse and repeat, right? Like, try to integrate yourself into the family and be the leader. Set goals for the family, set family reunions, find out who specializes in what, and start leaning in on those people who actually specialize in certain things and build a network. And now you guys are living with purpose, right? Because you're helping each other out. And let's just say nobody from that circle is going anywhere. They're not advancing, but you're going to apply that knowledge, that circle, that network to the upcoming generations. Like, this is so important, especially to my communities that are struggling, right? And you know who you are. So step up, be the leader, be the mentor, be the person who people can go to every single time they have a question. But what is that going to require of you? Sacrifice, reading, case studies, watching videos like this, getting inspired to do more than me, do more than you did yesterday, but be that person.
Weaved it in. It was seamless.
Grateful.
Speaking of candy,
Yeah.
gummies.
Shaqalicious.
Yes.
Sell gummies.
So-
These are the biggest gummies I've ever seen.
And by the way, his face is the gummy. For folks who can't see that.
Don't you bite my face, Craig.
That's exactly
No, don't
I'm
do
gonna
it.
bite your head off.
Now these are regular. These are not like adult gummies. These are gummy.
You know what? That's the second person. What are adult gummies?
Gummies with THC.
No, I don't do that, man. I'm a role model. Stop it.
So did they take a mold of your face? How did they do this?
I had to put my face in white plastic for about 30 minutes with a straw, and it took a mold. But
I'm not a big gummy fan, but this is good.
Yeah, great.
I love candy.
It's hard to talk.
Man, these fools can't even talk, man. It's making their teeth stick together so bad. It must be a really good gummy. Listen, well, let's end it there. I would love to hear some of the comments below. Let me know how you're going to take lead in your communities, whether it's at work, it's in your church, it's in your family, or it's just you. Maybe you're the only person that can turn to you, but have the answers for yourself. Start educating yourself. If this guy can do it on, such a grand scale, like he's done everything, right? That does not mean that you can't do a few things. Do a few things well. Till next time.